Contreras is back on track. The Caveman joining us in studio to talk about his most recent victory in San Diego. First of all, thanks for getting up and coming in this morning. Appreciate it.
No
you were
problem,
probably doing road work, weren't you?
No, I'm actually enjoying my little week off after this little fight. So.
You take a whole week.
Yeah, I gotta let the body recover.
I was gonna say, you earned it though. You fighting, is it Josec Ruiz?
Yes.
Yeah, the Scorpion, in an 8-round unanimous decision victory. What was important about this fight? Did you feel like you had something to prove?
Yeah, so after my first loss, I came back in, March, and I scored a draw against a really good fighter. So this fight was kind of like to get back on the winning side, get things back on track. So I'm glad we got it, and not just against anybody. It was a tough vet,
Well,
so
32 professional fights for Ruiz coming in on this one, and I think you won all but one round.
Yeah,
correct?
Yeah. So two judges had me winning all rounds, and one judge had me losing one round. So it was a pretty convincing win, but I'm just glad we got in there with a tough vet, not just some scrub.
And you talked about that, you touched on it, a knockout loss, which was just 2 fights ago, then to come back and have a split draw. What did you learn from those 2 fights about you as a fighter?
Resilience, resilient, okay. And there's just so much. When it comes to boxing, it's so uncertain, just 8-ounce glove, anybody could get clipped. So it's one of those things where you realize that losses come with the sport, and no matter what, it's how you come back from that. So the draw was a comeback from the loss, but like I said, it's good to get back on the winning side.
Obviously people, they look at these types of things and they think to themselves, okay, he's 11-0 going into this thing. There was never a moment for you that you had this sort of sense of invincibility. I know your friends are probably going, you're the man, you're never going to lose.
Yeah. No,
but do you look at this as a positive almost, that it came at this point in your career? That you struggled a little bit?
Yeah, I think it's better that it came earlier in my career, because later on down the line, you never know what could happen. You're just so caught up and you think every fight's going to be a win, So I'm glad that it happened earlier in my career. I was able to learn from it, and better to learn earlier than later.
How did you tweak your training, your approach to these fights at all after those 2?
I wouldn't say I necessarily fix something, because my loss was a really dumb mistake that I made, honestly. And
that you're not going to make again.
Yeah, exactly. It was just like a little easy fix that I haven't made since that fight. But it did make me more hungrier in the gym. You don't want to lose. Obviously, athletes don't like losing. So I would say it made me more hungrier, and it gave me more of a drive to not let the loss happen again.
The way you came back from that and scoring such a decisive victory in this last fight, do you also think that as other fighters look at opponents, guys like you with great records, that it makes you more desirable?
Yeah, I think so. There's boxing's a business first, so oftentimes they'll see who you fought. It's not like you. You can have a guy who's 20-0 but hasn't fought nobody, or a guy with a rough record but he's fought the best in the world. So oftentimes you get avoided because they don't want to risk-reward factor. But right now I'm in a point in my career where I got good management, good backing, so I'm able to find and get these matches that I desire.
Okay, once you're done fooling around for a week, you're going to get back at it. Or do you have another fight on the horizon right now?
Not lined up, but we're definitely planning on getting one more in before the year ends. So, God willing, that comes happen.
All right, best of luck to you, Miguel. Thanks for coming in this morning.
No problem. Thank you.
Miguel, the Caveman Contreras, 12-1-1. We'll keep an eye on him. Let's go over to